Good morning, good day, good evening, good afternoon, whatever it is, wherever you're at, whenever you're joining in. Thanks for coming in and joining for another 10 roll bank hunt. It finally got it. Took me 5 banks to get 10 rolls of pennies. Are limited to how many I can get. So I went to 5 of them so I can have 10 rolls of pennies, 10 rolls of nickels, 10 rolls of dimes, and 10 rolls of quarters. So we got 10 rolls. All of these were from the same bank, a bank I normally don't get coins from. It's been a while since I went down to that bank, so I'm curious to see what we will get. A lot of these do look wrapped. Some of these are a little weaker on the edges, so I'm wondering if they've been searched already or they're just old rolls. I mean, you don't see banks having rolls that have holes in the sides. Usually people don't turn those into the bank taped in, so I'm wondering if these have already been hunted, but we'll find out. So I'm going to get going. We're going to start here with the quarters, work our way down in denominations, and as always, I'll bring you in for any finds along the way. Well, that was an uneventful 10 rolls. Like I said, I think I'm getting some already searched coinage. The first roll had a nickel wrapped in it. Not uncommon, but unfrequent to see the first and actually the last. So I had nickels rather than quarters. I don't know how you make that mistake. The first roll was 2 quarters short, and the last roll was 1 quarter short because of those nickels. So I lost 75 cents, gained 10 cents. So that was a loss of 65 cents in those quarters. Of the actual quarter finds, we did find a 2009 Duke Ellington. That's a lower vintage, harder to find quarter, decent condition, and that is a Philadelphia. So Philadelphia, Duke Ellington, no doubling on that one. Bit of crud dirty over here. The quarters were a bust. On for the dimes. Well, only one item for the dimes, and that was an extra dime. Again, 10 rolls, customer wrapped dimes. I did have one extra dime in one of the rolls, so another bonus 10 cents for the dimes, but still 55 cents short overall for the rolls. Bring you on to the nickels, and I'll bring you in for any finds along the way. All right, here we are with our nickels. Nothing to write home about, but some good finds on there. We did have, for my San Francisco collections, we have another 1969 and a 1970. Those are San Franciscos. I just collect those. Being on the East Coast, don't get to see West Coast mintages often. But we did have a really nice dirty 1939. So this is a second year Jefferson. It is the Philadelphia. There is no doubling on there, but it's nice to see a 1930 coin in circulation. Partnered up with another dirty 1940. That is also Philadelphia. That is a nice common coin. We do have that 1949, and look at that. That is, if I can focus, there we go. That is Denver. So we do have a 1949 Denver. We have a 1952 San Francisco, and like seeing those San Franciscos, that is a lower mintage, not a low mint coin. Numbers are down there for the screen for you. And then we have a 1958 Denver as well. So some pretty good coins, but that 1952 and that 1939 were nice finds. Give me a second to clean this up, and I'll be getting over to our Lincoln cents. All right, folks, here we are with our Lincoln cents. Going to move this around here again. Took a while, went to multiple banks to get a whole 10 rolls, so we got some different wrappers, and I just mixed them all together, sort of sorted them by wrapping style. like that. It's looking like those might have a little bit more in there. So let me get this adjusted here. No, that's not going to work. Here we go. There we go. Let me fit this in because somebody had said, one of the comments on one of my videos was to unwrap these live. Some people like seeing that these are actual coins, see what kind of coinage we get out of here. And look at that, we got a decent amount there that is pretty well mixed for that. So let's take a look here. We'll just do a couple rolls real quick. 1975, 1776. See our coppers here. We have here that is a 85, 1730, 1716. I'll do a closer look at these. Looks like a Denver 69 Denver, and not the floating roof. Excuse me. So we'll look at some of these varieties a little bit closer off screen. 66, 82. I will weigh all of those 82s, and I'll look for varieties, errors. Again, just separate these. 64, we're getting closer. It's a nice 23D. Just to give you an idea, ooh, it's a little corroded. That could have been a nice 72. 96. Yeah, for those close and wide AMs, I need my cheat sheet next to me here to know which, excuse me, which ones I'm looking for. 78. So a pretty good standard mix here. 81. All right, nothing in that first roll. Let's take out another one. Actually, we'll take out one of each style, see if the wrappers make a difference here. Again, I can't tell you which bank gave me which ones. Looks like the same, pretty average mix between copper and clad. And we're looking same date range, 2016, 17s. This one's definitely got more clad to it. I'll give us an idea, though, of what we're looking at in form of copper that is still in circulation. It's an interesting toning to that one. That's that dirty. Always like checking these out. These are that 1973, and if we flip that, it's got just a slight rotation to it. Nothing to write home about, but the 73 is a common one to have that rotation. Looks like that one was on fire. Get that rainbow toning there. Yeah, a little exposed to heat. Hey, there's our first foreign find. That's Queen Elizabeth Canadian. That is, ooh, it's anniversary year, 1982. Set that one aside. Nice to see some foreigns in here. 1959, that is a first year Lincoln Memorial cent. So I'll have to take a closer look at that one. So there are still some decent coins out there. I guess it really just depends on what you're looking for. In form of, excuse me, in form of Lincoln cents. All right, so let's do this one here. Oh, look at that one. We got right there at an ender. That is another Canadian, 1983. Flip that around. Excuse me again, 1983. Lincoln cent, and look at that. Somebody zoomed in. Something should not be there. Why is that one sticking up so high? Oh, look at that. That's part of the shield there. 1 penny, not cent. That is an actual penny. Pennyweight. That is a British UK. Let's see here. 2015. So that's a more modern, little damage up top there, but another foreign. That's three foreigns. Nice to see there. Some really 30s. 98, be a close white AM. 97, 93, 1960. Denver, so getting closer. Nice one, 2007. Nice color on that 79. 82, we'll get that weight up. 1969. The floating roof. Let's see here. Sorry for the camera work here. I'm trying to see over my camera. 75. We're getting a pretty decent mix here. I'll do a little math here momentarily. 60, 61. 75 is kind of years for our copper. 70's got really beat up on that. Interesting. All right. All right, so let's take a quick look at where we're at here. Then I can do some math. I'm trying to pull out a calculator here. Four set aside. All right, so 34. And let's just take a look at that percentage here. So if we say that was what, 50, so 150 coins, 34 of which were copper. That's giving us right now about 22.6%. So that's an average roll for me in the 20 percentile for our copper coins. So I'm going to get going on the rest of these. I'm going to search for details. If I find any errors or varieties, I'll bring you in for those finds, or look for the summary coming here momentarily for you. All right, folks, here we are on roll number 8. 2 rolls left to go, but we finally found our first find, significant find. Look at that. We've got a dirty starting to corrode, get that green patina, but that is a 1951 Denver Wheatie, but it's still a wheat cent. That's all that matters to me. It is a Wheatie. It is a common coin, but that is our first Wheatie, took to roll number 8. Of the other finds along the way, we did have, like I said, not as significant. We have a 2025 Philadelphia. Pretty good condition there. And we have another 2025. Oh, that's Philadelphia too. Sorry, I thought that was a Denver, but that is 2 2025s. So nice to have those in circulation. I will bring you back in for any other finds or the summary at the end. Here we are for a summary of the Lincoln cents, and we're a little bit lighter than normal, but still within a standard range. So going through our copper cents here, we had 2 from 1959. We have a Denver and a Philly there. We had 14 from the 1960s, 67 from the 70s, 24 from the 80s, and I did weigh out and separate my 1982s, so only the copper cents would be in here, and that's a pretty nice one. That's, I mean, a little bit environmental age in there, but still pretty good conditions. Full steps on that one. Nice one anyways. Of our significant finds, or finish up the copper. So this gives us a total, including the wheat cent, 108 copper cent pieces here. That's 21.6%. So we're in that 20 to 25 range. I'm usually closer 22 to 24. So that's not too bad. It's still within the realm of average for the copper cent. So they are still out there. We did have 3 foreign finds. We have this Canadian 1982. That is a anniversary year. We have a 1983, both regular cent. And then we did have this nice European, British 1 penny on there. A little damage on that front end on the obverse on Queen Elizabeth's portrait there. But pretty good. Nice to see a British penny in there. Of our American finds, we do have Professional Life 2009, and that is a Philly. That's in pretty good condition. It is not an upgrader for me, but that's a nice look in 2009 in general. We had 2 2025 Phillies. These are not the error coins of any form on there that I saw, but good to see the 2025 last year of the Lincoln Cent. So, and then the one Wheatie we had, again, we're starting to see that green corrosion coming in on that, and that was a 1951 Denver. So not bad for the Lincoln Cents overall. Small haul, but for 10 rolls, not too bad at all. So I'm going to clean this up, and I will bring you back in for the full hunt summary in a second. And here we are for the overall summary. I cleaned out some of those extraneous, like the extra dime and extra nickels that we found. So these are just those key finds. We had that 2009 Duke Ellington, one of the harder quarters, Philadelphia to find. A little bit dirty, but still nice to see that lower mintage in there. Of our nickels, we had a 1939 Philly, no doubling on that. We had a 1940 Philly, well loved, and a 1949 Denver. Again, not any kind of key dates here. This was the key date, lower mintage, not a key date, lower mintage. That's a 1952 San Francisco, so that was the low mintage. Fine, that 39 and the 52 were the keys. We also had the 1958 Denver, which common coin. And then as we went in with our Lincoln Cents, we did have our two foreigns, that 82 and 83 Canadian. We did have that British, and I forgot to look at that. That's 2015 British 1 penny, official penny on that one. We had the Professional Life, nice 2009 Lincoln Cent, 2 2025 Phillies, and that one wheat, 1951 Denver. So that's it. Those are the finds for this 10 roll hunt. I've got another 10 rolls ready to go. Get going on that one. So thank you guys for making it this far for the summary of the video. If you made it all the way through, thanks for working that algorithm for me. Be sure to click that thumbs up as well. For those who have subscribed, thank you for subscribing. For those who have not or are thinking about it, just click that subscribe. It's free of charge. You can get, if you choose to, you can also set on notifications to none, but you can get regular updates from me. I try doing 2 videos a week. Shorts on Wednesday, long format on Fridays. You know, if you're interested and love this coin journey with me. So thank you again for all your thumbs up, your support, and until the next time, have yourself a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful day, and happy hunting.